I don't always wash my truck, but when I do, I use a creeper to wash the frame because the frame is the only shiny part on this friggin' thing. So here it is, the 1983 GMC 3+3. I always get people asking me what that means. Why does it say 3+3 on there? I always say, oh, well, it equals 6. And they just look at me funny. They say, look how many people can sit in the front. Look how many people can sit in the back. Crew cab. And one night, I was laying in bed thinking about this thing, because obviously, how can you not think about it? And I thought up a set of cool license plates for it. And I was like, oh, well, I don't even know if they'd be available. So I went online and looked them up. And sure enough, they were available, and I couldn't not get them. So it's the GM Cummins. And here it is. It's got an HX40 turbo on it. This is a stock 2nd gen rad and intercooler. It's got a 60 horse overflow valve, number 0 fuel plate. It's got the dual batteries on it. And this is a little bracket here I made up myself. I have next to no fabricating experience. And this is the master for the clutch. And it only goes in there and does a quarter turn, and I kept breaking the tabs off them. I replaced it once, and I replaced it, yeah, just the once, and then it looked like it was going to break again. I can't remember if it broke again or not, but I thought, well, I'm not going to keep on buying these things just to have them keep breaking. So I got those little things welded on. That's the bracket with the studs that go through the firewall, and then I just kind of twisted those around, and then I just cut a chunk of pipe in half and welded on those tabs and drilled holes through everything and lined her all up. And one of those is the solenoid for the fast fuel. The other one's for the grid heaters. The grid heaters do work. It's got 150 horse injectors in it from industrial injection. The exhaust is 4-inch from the turbo back the whole way. She's snug, but she fits. What else can I tell you about this beautiful thing? Well, it's painted red, so that's just crazy horsepower right there. This thing is a very, very snug fit in here. And it's pretty close to the AC box here. It kind of melted into it a bit. Clearly it's not hooked up. I would love if it was hooked up, because this was an air-conditioned truck. But that's just on the list of things to do. What do you do? Like, look at this thing. It just works. It's wicked. 4-inch left. Got left springs in the front. Extended brake lines. I got those from ORD. They're wicked. The shackle hangers. They're the heavy-duty greasable ones, and they are nice. The stock ones were too short, and the leaf springs were rubbing on the frame with the lift. So I got those, and they're wicked. They look nice too. Nice long set of traction bars. When I was pulling without them, this thing would get hopping so bad. And in between the cab and the frame, people said it was flexing just like that, so that's why I got the whole frame boxed in. Didn't want to break her in half. And then in the back, nice heavy duty leaves. It's just got the 4-inch block, but that seems to work just fine. Shiniest part of the truck is the tailgate. That's nice. I think somebody was doing burnouts on the tailgate with a motorcycle. The guy that I bought it from had a street bike, and I think that's what it was. But yeah, there she be. Here's what you're looking at on the inside. It's lock free. It's even got the old ashtrays in the door. Bunch of junk. The old cardboard creeper for roadside repairs. That's what controls the grid heater. The speedometer's out of whack, so that's why I got the GPS. Custom camo radio. The old NV 4500. Here's my 4-wheel drive shifter. Stick her down in there. I'm obviously going to finish that someday, but that's what I'm rolling with for now. And how's that for a custom bracket? That's what I came up with for a 4-wheel drive shifter. This truck had no 4-wheel drive shifter when I bought it, so I made one. Chunk of rebar in there. This is the second kind of redo. The first one I made sucked. I have next to no fabricating experience. I bought a little MIG welder and just kind of started fooling around, but I thought that was pretty clever of me. Every exhaust hanger broke off, so I ended up getting, was cutting a chunk of pipe out. I think it was an old exhaust off an old truck or something, and I welded that on there and then welded the hanger to that, and that seems to be holding up better. But I think there's 3 hangers and every one of them broke off. Kind of sucks because I had the exhaust custom built, but other than that, I'm happy with it. Alright, so this exhaust was completely custom made, and this is something worth noting here. This is 4-inch pipe, and it barely, but it does clear the frame and beside the transfer case. Like splitting hairs, but it does clear. So that's pretty cool. It is a tight fit, but she's in there, boy. This truck is all original, well, the cab is anyways, but it's not in terrible shape. It does need a little bit of work, but not bad for a Canadian truck from Alberta. If it was an Ontario truck, it'd be completely rotten. This side's the worst. That's probably the worst of it right there, but you can't complain, eh? I had to get the drive shaft lengthened too when I put the lift in. Can't see it, but triple disc clutch in there. The old NV 4500 and P205. A very nice custom homemade transmission cross member. The guy that I bought it off of did that. I put some exhaust drop on the downpipe. Got the old FAS on her there. I got those traction bars built last year too. And I did put a muffler on it. This thing is kind of a heat score. And I didn't want to have a reason to get a ticket if I got pulled over, so I just put a muffler on it. There's a cap, but it's empty. And that's where the frame starts, where it's plated. And it goes all the way back to the very back. It's only got 285 tires. I bought those tires brand new before I put the lift in it. And there's nothing wrong with them. I wasn't spending another $2,000 on a set of tires, so I will roll with these ones for now. Even though the tires are only 285s, I do have a set of 2-inch wheel spacers so they don't rub in between. So here's where it all began with this truck. I first saw this on June of 2017 on Kijiji. I'd periodically look for these trucks, like just kind of browsing, and I'd always kind of wanted an older four-door. So, after seeing the ads, seeing the pictures, reading over everything that had been done to this truck, and for the price of it, it seemed like a pretty good deal, but it was 4,000 kilometers away in Alberta, and I was like, wow, I don't know, geez, that's pretty far, but 2 days went by and I couldn't stop thinking about the thing, so I ended up calling the guy and made a deal. Figured out how to get a paper chip permit for it in Ontario. I got the guy to email me or mail me the ownership. Got insurance put on it. Got a temporary chip permit. I flew out and got in the truck in Grand Prairie, Alberta, and headed her back to Tweed, Ontario. It was just over 4,000 kilometers. And what a trip that was. Getting in a truck you've never seen before. The turbo was flipped up with an old school bus manifold, and the exhaust was sticking through the hood. I think that would have been awesome, but obviously that's kind of a heat score. So I had the guy change it for me, and he was nice enough to do that. So I asked the guy to send me some more pictures of the truck, and the clips are kind of shitty quality because they're from a couple phones ago, but after looking them over, seeing them all, I was like, yeah, for sure I want this thing, so made it happen. I e-transferred the guy all the money, and he delivered it to the airport for me. He lived north of there, and he just left it there for me. So when I walked out of the airport, I had to walk around the parking lot and look for this thing, but it was kind of hard to find. Every other truck in that parking lot was lifted, and this one was just stock. So I was walking around with my suitcase looking for the darn thing, and I laid eyes on those mirrors, and I thought, there it is. And I walked over to it, popped the hood, checked the oil, did a quick circle check, jumped in it, fired it up, and headed for Tweed. What a ride that was. It was loud. It was long. I wear earplugs driving the thing by myself. When I was driving it home, he had just put a big chunk of 4-inch flex pipe on it that came out at the back corner of the cab, so it's even louder than it is now, but it's awesome. I just love the thing. It's a bit of a love-hate relationship, but that's what you get with a hot rod. So here's the ad for it. 83 crew cab, Cummins swap, 96 Cummins engine and transmission. It is a P-pump. 127,000 original K on the engine. When I bought it, said it was stock till 123. 150 horse injectors, had new delivery valves, 4K governor springs in the pump and the head, 60 horse overflow valve, ARP head stud, number 0 fuel plate, and the HX40 turbo. It did come with that HT3B, but I've never really looked into compounds yet. It's got the fast fuel system on it with the true sump in the tank. Truck had all new shocks and upgraded 1410 U-joints, Dana 60 Kingpin front diff, 70 HD in the rear. All the wheel bearings and brake lines have been done. All the gauges do work, the fuel and the speedometer a little bit out, but it's got the NV4500. I put a triple disc clutch in it. It's got the MP205 T-case. I did put the 5th gear lock nut in that tranny when I had it all apart. Definitely doesn't look the prettiest, but it is a hot rod for sure, and it has been well built. The engine mounts, any modifications he'd done to it, it was good quality work. So here's just a couple shots of driving it home. That was in Saskatchewan, and there was the sunset one night. That was pretty neat. And there it is with the flex pipe filling up with diesel. All the pumps have diesel out there, which is nice. That was along Lake Superior in Ontario. There's a little pullover spot there you can stop and take a picture. That was when I got the hitch on it. I put a brand new trailer hitch on it. It just had a 5th wheel. That was when I got the exhaust put on it, driving it back. And I had the new tires on it then too. And that was when I just got the plates for it. It didn't have a lift there. And then this was the summer of 2018. I just had the lift put in. That was looking good. And this was my buddy Zach's wedding. All the groomsmen had all their rigs lined up.
Over that horn coming back, and he's off now. Yes, there's Something's dropping, the dust is flying.
That was the truck pull at the Madoc Fair the fall of 2018. Guy ended up beating me in a Duramax by like 3 feet. I got second place, so I was still pretty happy with that. And I've got my four-wheeler in the box of the truck for weight. Believe it or not, the truck only weighs about 7,000 pounds. So it helps if we got something in the back for pulling. And this is March of 2019. I decided to tear the whole truck apart. I was going through a pretty tough time in life at that point. A lot of big life plans changed for me, but it freed up some time to work on this thing. So I ended up tearing it all apart. I had the frame boxed in. There's a couple pictures of that while it was getting worked on. I put a new clutch in it, painted the whole frame and the engine and transmission, 5th gear lock nut, new yoke on the back of the transfer case. Did a bunch of underneath stuff to it, and there was putting it all back together, so that was nice to be able to get that all done. I'd started taking it apart in March, and now it was September, and I finally had it back together, and I was so happy. When I finally got it going, I drove to Madoc and went to Subway for supper, and that was at the Rose and Heath truck pull. I ended up getting 3rd place. And there's a picture of me pulling there, so I was pretty happy about that. But and there was just the other week I was out for a drive and took a picture under that combine with the sunset in the back. But that's pretty well the whole story of the truck, how I got it, how it's evolved since I've had it, all the work that I've done to it, and where it's at now. I've got a couple more things I'm going to be doing to it this summer. Different intake, exhaust manifold, I got a pillar pod and some gauges to put in it. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, I'll be making more videos on this, and I'm sure there'll be lots more pulling videos and videos of me working on it, but that's pretty well it. If you have any questions about the truck, feel free to leave me a comment and ask. I'm sure there's some stuff I didn't go into enough detail about, but I'd be happy to answer any questions or comments or concerns about the truck. I know this is a crazy time dealing with this pandemic right now, but I just want everyone to stay healthy, stay safe, and take care out there.